What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a competitive Odd Eyes deck profile. So let's jump into this deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. We're running 3 of our main boss monster. You know, you want to see him as fast as possible. Our Odd Eyes Art Pendulum Dragon. He's able to help pretty much be like a monster reborn that stays on the field. Helps us to be able to search out our deck for our Odd Eyes monsters that can help us start getting our plays going. Also too, if they're destroyed, it's going to help us to be able to special summon them from the graveyard too, so that's very useful. We're still rocking the 3 OG original Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon helps just to get that major beat down burn damage on the opponent, really catch him off guard, and just hit him with the OTK. We're also running 2 of the Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. He is very, very useful for making sure you get that burn damage in. To be able to also give an attack point boost is very useful too. I knocked down the Odd Eyes Persona down to 2. He was a bit too much for the way the build is right now. But 2 of these is be able to get 2 negators on board for those extra deck monster effects. And also having a big 24 booty is very useful too. I'm still running the Odd Eyes Mirage. A lot of people have been asking me why I run this card. They think the card is trash. It's the same as if you was going to be talking to Yugi, Yusuke Fudo, any of these archetype monster guys. They're going to sit there, they're going to tell you, this is my main guy, this is my mascot for the deck. But the main reason why I run him is if he's in the monster zone, anytime one of your Odd Eyes cards is going to be destroyed, he's going to protect it at least once during that turn. Also too, he's normal summonable. All the other Odd Eyes monsters can't be normal summoned. If push comes to shove, you can normal summon him and you can go on with your plays from there if you have to. This guy has bought me a lot of times when my opponent can't get over him because you have to destroy him twice. So that's very useful. Also running the Perform Power package and the Perform Power Odd Eyes Dissolver and the Perform Power Odd Eyes Synchron. Both of these 2 really help the deck to open up. Dissolvers to be able to help you go into your fusion plays, and also Synchron is going to help you begin those good synchro plays. The thing I like about this one is if he's in the pin scale, you're able to turn one of your monsters into a 1, and that can be very useful depending on what kind of synchros you want to go into. We're also still running Supreme King package. We're running 2 Dark Worm and the 1 Gate Zero. The reason for this is I don't want to see this in hand too much. I want to see it. Don't get me wrong. I want to see it, but I don't want to see it in hand. I want to get it in the graveyard as fast as possible. 2, it's a normal summonable, and also 2, it helps to go into some of the plays I want to go into my Link monsters, and it helps too that this is the reason why I opened up for the room for it, so I can put in Mirage in this too. That way I can still bounce the plays off of each other. We're still running the 3 Chronograph and the 1 Time Gazer. This package is all around good just to be able to make sure that if your opponent tries to lock you out of your pen scales, you can still make plays. If one of your pendulum monsters get destroyed, for instance, either your Mirage or your Dark Worm, they get destroyed, you can still special summon this guy and still special summon the Odd Eyes out of hand and hopefully turn the game around for yourself. So that can be very useful for you. We're also now running the Mythical Beast package. We're running 3 Cerberus and 2 Jackal King. A lot of people have asked me why I've not been running this. The main reason I was focusing more on the Guardragons and just the Guardragons alone, mostly dragon monsters. Mystical Beast Cerberus is a very big brick in your hand. The reason why I say that is he can't come back out of the extra deck spot, because if you can't pin summon him, and if you got to use Vortex effect to spin him back. That's the main reason why I haven't liked him. Now these 2 right here, I really like them a lot because they're negates. They're very good strikes, so that's very useful to you in a lot of the plays that you want to make. But just this engine alone is very fast for helping to get the Electromite Turbo engine going. But when I was focusing more on the Guardragons, that's the reason why I was not focused on this. But going for more of a competitive build, I want to get the Electromite out there as fast as possible, or a Wee Wee Witch, something like that, to get out there so I can start getting my Link plays going the way I want to. And lastly, for the monsters, Running the 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This guy's just good for making sure we get our crazy plays going and really make our opponent really have to hustle to get some plays going against us. But that is it for our monsters. For our spell cards, I'm running 1 Pot of Desires. I switched from Allure Darkness to Pot of Desires because Allure Darkness, you're going to draw, if you take both of them together, you're going to draw 4 cards. That's good, but you're not really drawing, you're just going through the deck faster. Pot of Desires, you're going to draw 2 cards, but you're going to kick out 9 out of the banish pile. You're going through the deck a whole lot more than those 4 cards with the Allure Darkness. That's the mindset of it. Now, the key thing is make sure that you got your Electromite, things like that, popping off before you go into your Desires. You do not want Desires first turn and you haven't got none of your plays going, because you don't want to lose your Dark Worms, your Gate Zeros, your Time Gazers, things like that. So make sure you play your plays right. This will work out for you. I'm running the 1 Pendulum Paradox to be able to make sure that we get our scales set up, blown up the way we want to, get everything out of the extra deck, and pin summon from the hand and extra deck is very useful. Helps to get a lot of the plays going the way we want. Also running 2 Duelist Alliance. This is also to help to get any of our Odd Eyes that are the Arc Pendulum or the original Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon to the hand. Also to help to get Pendulum Paradox to hand and help to get set up plays. We're running one of the best searchers out there, the Spiral Flame, to be able to help to search out our Odd Eyes level 7 Odd Eyes cards, get them into our hand. Also too, if you got Odd Eyes on the field, to be able to destroy a card. This is what I've usually used. Like if somebody has a anti-spell up on me, if I can get this and Mirage on the field, I usually activate this to destroy. That's the reason why I run Mirage, to destroy the arc, the anti-spell. Go ahead and set up my pin scales, pin summon, OTK the opponent. That's some of the things that I've done to help me to establish boards whenever I've been in a bad situation. We're also running the 1 Terraforming and our 3 Sky Iris. Sky Iris is be able to help us to really help with the plays with our Arc Pendulum. Also too, to be able to help to start setting up our boards to make sure that we can just get our Odd Eyes on the field the way we want to. Also running 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Dragon Shrine. These have been very useful to help to make sure that we get our dragons in the graveyard that we need, and also to be able to set up the graveyard the way we want to and be able to set up our board. And that is it for our spell cards. For the extra deck, I'm running 2 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. This guy is just, he's probably the second main boss monster of the deck. To be able to get him on board is very, very crucial. Make sure you get those negates out there to really slow down your opponent. I'm running 1 Odd Eyes Absolute. This is just to make sure that we can get that good Utopian negate effect when their opponent battles, and also too when he's sent to the graveyard to be able to special summon an Odd Eyes card is very useful. Running the 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This guy is very good for doing the burn damage on your opponent. If you can get enough damage in and you can stick this guy out there, he's sure enough to win the game for you. We're also running number 11 Big Eye. Big Eye is just good for snatch stealing your opponent's cards. Make sure to make them pay for even putting big monsters out there. Make them, really pay for it, really. We're also running 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. This guy is very useful for making sure that you get the negates on board. Also too, I know a lot of you guys have messaged me about other alternatives for this guy, so this is some options that I have for you. These are more budget options. You can run Azure Silver Dragon. You can run the new Borlo Savage Dragon. You can run the Red Nova Dragon, and this guy's not more for negating or protecting. He's just mainly just to get a big beater on board. And also too, if they do get something bigger than him and you they attack it, you can negate it, pop it out, special summon it back. Very useful. Also too, Ignister. He's a dragon to be able to make sure that you can destroy one of your pin scales. That's also will help you to set up your Odd Eyes play, and then spin something back, special summon another Odd Eyes. Very useful. You can use a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon or you can use a Hope Harbinger Dragon. All these options are very useful, very budget to replace for Hot Red Dragon. They can either special summon back, be able to negate, or be able to destroy, things like that. It can be very useful to you, but these are just all options. We're running the 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. This guy's just good for making sure you get those special summons. Also to hate on the battle phase of your opponent. We're running 1 FA Dawn Dragster. Dawn Dragster is just very good for getting those negates on the spell cards, and be very problematic for your opponent if you get this and the Vortex out there at the same time. We're running the 1 Heavy Metal Foes Electrum. Electrum is just be able to be good for getting your board set up to be able to start loading up the extra deck and getting the plays the way you want to. We're running the 1 Zephyr Metatron. I wanted to give an aspect to this deck where I could either go to the Electromite Turbo or go into the Guardragon Turbo, whichever one would be best for me. But very useful, very helpful. Speaking of the Guardragons, we're running the 3 or 1 of each of Guardragons. Guardragon Argipane, Pixie, or Elpie. They're all very useful for whatever you might want to do. Help you get to the play setup or get into those crazy lockout boards. We're also running the 1 Triple Burst Dragon. This guy's just good for helping you set up your plays with your Guardragon monsters. Also too, being 24 and doing trample damage is very useful. And lastly, for the extra deck monsters, we're running 1 Skull Dread. A lot of people have asked me for alternatives for Skull Dread. That's the reason why I made this build. It's more of a competitive build for the Guardragons and the Odd Eyes. You'll be able to either go into your Guardragon plays with Skull Dread, or go into your Zephyr Metatron plays. This can be both very useful for you depending on where you want to go with your deck or what plays you want to make. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let us know what you think. Any comments, suggestions would be much greatly appreciated. We love you guys. Be sure to support us, continue supporting us. We love you. We're out.